We are using the AC100 Jesminite kit, which I've got off Amazon, so let's go. Okay, I forgot to start pressing record on this. So what I've done here is to work out how much Jesminite liquid and base we need. We needed to weigh what fluid is actually in the mould. So you're looking at 59 grams for what liquid's in there. So for you to know what you're going to use, is you divide that by 2. And that is what liquid you're going to need. And then for the powder, you get your liquid and then you divide it, times it then by 2.5. Because with Jesminite, it is going to be 1 ratio to 2.5 base. So yeah, let's get this mixed in. I'm going to get the book which has all the information on. I've got all my calculations ready. I've got my mould ready. With Jesminite, you have to be ready. So everything needs to be ready to go. So I'm just pouring the base now. Sorry, measuring out the base now. So I'm getting the right amount in there for what I need to mix with the actual Jesminite liquid. So it was 73 base. And then I've used a jug to be able to do the liquid on there. So I've got them on 2 separate containers. It's not just pouring it straight in, because as mentioned, it is literally, it's a go. Jesminite, it cures so fast, so you've got to work fast with this. And this is the first time, I don't know why I didn't do a practice run before starting to record. I just thought, you know what, let's just do it, because if anything happens, at least you guys can see it doesn't always go right. So I've got my liquid and my base then poured. Now these pigments are actual Jesminite pigments. You don't need a lot. They are so intense. So what I've done first, because I want to add detail to the actual coaster that I'm doing, I've made sure I've done my rose gold leaf on there. I don't know why I just didn't get my finger in this. It's just easier to spread with the finger than it is with a lollipop stick. So you can see me just take it on. However, this way around though, I have noticed that when you do it with this, you're literally pushing it right into the mould. I think it just needs to be a little bit looser for when the Jesminite gets poured on. As later on in the video, you'll see it does, Jesminite doesn't all pick all the rose gold leaf up anyway for you. So that is all ready for me to pour. So what I tend to do is I don't pour the liquid into the powder. I do the other way around. I do half the powder first and give that then a mix in, making sure all the lumps are out, and then I add the rest of the base. I just chose to do this way because it seems to be working for everybody else that I've been watching. So thank you for everybody that's doing this already. It's fantastic to be able to learn from that as well. And I literally just mix it as it is. Now, as mentioned earlier, the 2 colours that I'm using, I'm going to use blue and red, and if you know your primary colours, you know what you're going to get. I love my purples, so it had to be for my very first one, a purple. So yeah, again, only a little bit needed. Very intense pigment, so a dot, not even that is needed. You'll see as soon as I start mixing these, it is intense colour. You don't need a lot at all. Straight away you can see. I have speeded this video up because literally I do mix it for quite a while, but then I don't want to be mixing for longer than 5 minutes because that Jesminite is curing in the jug. So it is a quick process. So anyone doing this, make sure you've got everything ready. I don't know why I keep having to say that, but you do. So yeah, so I've mixed this all up, made sure that there's no powder still left, and then I literally pour. Now, Jesminite is not self-leveling. It's not like the resin that I've been using. Once you've poured it, you've got to manipulate it in a way that you're spreading it into the corners, you're banging the air bubbles out. It's not as simple as just getting an air gun on it. It is a different way of working than the actual resin that I have done in the past. However, I was so excited about getting this kit and using this kit that I really wasn't prepared for what was going to happen. Obviously you can see in my thumbnail, this mould snapped as I was demoulding. I don't know if I left it too short, not left it too short, I demoulded it too early. I think that's what's happened. Or I was trying to do the measurements that I'd learned instead of following actually what was on the kit. But then I think it's just learning what to pour. I think I'd rather pour too much than too little and always have a spare mould. But that's what I do with my resin. I've not been able to master the right ratio yet with the resin for what moulds I need to be using. And that's probably the same. The fact that this is the first one, yeah, it is so hard. So that was it, and I was more excited the fact that I would be coming back in half an hour and taking that out. Okay, so this has now been 25 minutes. So I didn't want to try 20 or 30, so it's been 25. So it's now ready to come out the mould. I still cannot believe it, and I just want to be a little bit fragile. Obviously I've got the leaf in there as well, so I can't wait. It's so exciting. Now, although it has cured, I still just want to be really careful demoulding this. I really don't want to crack it or break it in any way. Oh, and that's what happens. Oh, no. Okay, so it's meant to come out the mould when it goes wrong, eh? My one is just, I didn't leave it long enough. That would have been amazing. So I didn't leave it long enough. It didn't come out the mould. Maybe I just didn't put enough Jesminite in it. But it's one I need to try again. But this is the first time I've done it. So yeah, I'm pretty gutted that that broke. But you can see the gold, the rose gold leaf. Oh, I need to practice on taking out the mould. But that would have been so nice. Oh well, it would have been really pretty. I wonder if I can glue it together and fix it, possibly. But it is amazing. Absolutely love it. I cannot believe that was literally 25 minutes. Maybe I should have just done the ratios that was on the actual pack. But yeah, I am gutted that that has broke. What I would normally do if that stayed was use this and go around the edge and give it a file. But yeah. Oh, gutted. Let's try again. Okay, so I couldn't let this go to waste. So I've decided to glue with just normal Loctite together and sand it around the edges, trying to sand the crack a little bit more and just give it a bit of a clean through. Do the edges without even picking it up. I can feel that that's actually quite warm. So yeah, I didn't want this to go to waste. And what I'll do is I will, on the top here, to seal it, I'm going to resin it. So I'll do a top coat of resin just to finish it off and make it shiny. So then it's just got a bit of a character. My very first one, and obviously I'm guessing I never left it in the mould long enough for it to come out, or I just didn't use enough for the depth. It obviously needed to be thicker. But yes, giving it a bit of a sand around. But for my first one, I think I'm just going to have to be happy with the fact that sometimes it doesn't always turn out. And I will put a picture of the finished one once it has been completed. But don't be disheartened. I'm going to fix it up. I'm going to put a cork on the back. So you won't be able to see that long one there. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, not all wasted. That will be one for my personal archives. This is what happens if you don't leave it long enough and get too excited. Okay, so this is the final broken coaster. I did put a cork on the back. I weren't going to let it go to waste, so I am going to be using this. I've decided to use it as a trinket instead of an actual coaster. And I did do another one. So I did do the square mould with a different effect. I used the blue with the normal Jesminite colour with silver foil. Did use the right amount on it this time, and I left the mould longer before I demoulded it, so that one worked out a little bit better. But this is what happens when you press record on something new that you've never done before. So these are the two trinkets. What I would say is, if you are going to be using them as coasters, and then please make sure you seal them. One thing that I did actually learn is, when you're doing these little videos, record in landscape and not portrait. But thank you very much for watching. Please press like on the video if you like what you've seen, subscribe, press the little bell to receive notifications. But yeah, thank you for your support, and you will be seeing more of the Jesminite coasters or trinkets in the future. Thank you.